Hello, and welcome back to Productive Dragons channel, where we do unboxes, playing with me's, and other things. And if you like that, please consider subscribing. Today, I'm doing my August reading wrap-up. Want to see the 17 books I've read? Come join me. I'm not kidding. I actually read 17 books in the month of August. I couldn't believe it. So, let's start it off with Court of Frost and Starlight. I gave this one a 4 stars. It was the library audiobook. I was enjoying the series, and as you'll see later on, I finished what this series is. For those of you who don't know, this is about Freya and Rasan and their journey throughout this whole thing. This is the novella between the last book and the previous book. So I enjoyed it. It's a young adult fantasy. Enjoyed it. Next, I read The Ravens. It was also a library book. I did an audio on this one. It was 4 stars. It is based on a sorority that is not your typical sorority. These are witches, and the main character that you are following, there's a few characters you're following, but this one character has no idea she has magic. So it's really interesting in seeing how this is going. I probably will read the next book, which is The Monarchs, in this one. But I really did enjoy it. I gave it a 4 stars. Next, I did, for my buzzword, which was objects, I did My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And Romeo's joining us. I gave this one 3 stars. I was enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. I was really loving it the whole way through. I was enjoying the character. Jade, she was interesting. It was the ending that just, I went, what? But I know that this is going to be, supposedly this is going to be a trilogy, so I can't wait for the next book to come out. So I am going to continue this series. I just hope the author doesn't end it like he did in this one. I just didn't get why it was ended the way it was. It didn't make any sense. That's the only reason why I gave it a 3 stars. Next book I read was Gallant. This one happened to be on my board. It was a own voice disability. If you didn't know, this character in this one is in an orphanage, and she's mute. So she ended up going to a home, which her mother has told her never to go to. I gave this 4 stars. I really did love this. This is the version that I got from Bookish Shop. There's their edition, and I really enjoyed this book. It was great. So this is by E.V. Swab. And so, yes, that one was a good one. Next, I was continuing the series of the Murderbot Diaries, Rogue Protocol. That one is, I believe, number 3. I've been enjoying the Murderbot series. It has been really interesting seeing how this portrayal of this bot is. So I've been really enjoying it. So I'm continuing this series as much as I can. I got this. It was a physical copy. So I did manage to get the physical copy of this and from my library. But maybe if I get a chance, I'll probably buy the series if I can. Next, I decided to do a few Neil Gaiman books. Boy, did I hit it. This one is The Odd and the Frost Giants. This is a middle grade book. It was great. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. It's a Norse myth in it, and it was really funny, and I enjoyed it. So that one I gave 4 stars, and I got it from the library. Next, I got For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. This one I got as a physical book from the library. It is a young adult fantasy. It is the first in a duology. This I enjoyed. It was great to watch how this character is going through what she's going through and why. I believe it's the second daughter always goes to the wolf. The first daughter always marries the prince. So it's an interesting way and what this character's been told all her life, and then to come there and find out it's not what you really think. So I really did enjoy it. I can't wait for the second book. I am going to read the second book, just don't know when. But I am reading it, so I did give this one 4 stars. Next, I read Sleep No More by J.D. James. This happened to be for the anthology on my tic-tac-toe board. It is 6 murderous tales, and they were all interesting. I was surprised how much I was okay with it. I gave it a 3 star. It's 6 different stories. They're all interesting. I'm not much into the historical fiction, so it's very hard for me to be that, and it was British. I don't think the British part was what got me. I think it was the historical part that got me. And I kind of felt sorry for a few characters in these different short stories. But other than that, it was a pretty good one. I got it from the library as a physical. So. Next, I decided I would go for, I ended up getting the physical copy of this as well from the library, Woman Eating, by Claire Klond. And I gave this one a 3 stars. I'll be honest, I do love vampires, and this is what it is. And it's an interesting look at this view of a vampire and everything. And it was really different than what you normally see. So I was kind of just doing that thing of, okay. And I'm like, it was okay. It wasn't one of my favorites. I wouldn't go, oh, yes, I need to. It was okay. I was glad I got it from the library, to be very honest with you. Next, I read The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. Like I said, you're going to see a few Neil Gaimans on here because I ended up getting a few from the library. And I really enjoyed this one. This one happens to be the Goodreads winner from 2011 to 2015 prompt on my TBR, tic-tac-toe. This one was very interesting. I loved it's supposed to be young. It's a young adult. It depends on which way you look at it. It could be horror or it could be magical realism. I didn't see it as a horror as much as I did the fantasy part of it. So for me, I enjoyed this book. It was really fun. I gave it 4 stars. Yes, I did. And it was really interesting. I love the premise and everything. So for me, it was like you're sitting there and you're seeing this story through a middle-aged gentleman who comes back and is reliving his time when he was a kid in this area. So I don't want to give too much away. If you haven't read it, I would suggest it. To me, it was a great read. It wasn't a long book. So all in all, it was a good read. Next, I read the second book in the Monk and Robot series by Becky Chambers, A Prayer for the Crown Shy. I enjoyed what she did with this one. I gave it a 4 stars. I got it also from the library. I was really thrilled to get this and enjoyed it. I don't think she's going any further with this, but it was very interesting how she went from what was in the first book to now this book, where people are now hearing about this robot and how the robot and the monk in the story gets all of a sudden they become celebrities and it freaks them out. You get to see the views of it, so I really did enjoy it. Definitely a read. Another Neil Gaiman, which is another middle grade, which was fortunately The Milk. This was a really cute story. I enjoyed it. It was funny. It too was middle grade. It was I picked it up from the library. I gave it 4 stars. It was just too cute not to pass up. Again, Neil Gaiman. As I said, I got in a kick of a Neil Gaiman thing, and it was like all the short books I could read, I got them. And this one was The Sleeper and Spindle. I also got that from the library. It's middle grade fantasy. It is the tale of both it's kind of a combining of Beauty, Sleeping Beauty and Snow White. In some crazy way, it kind of puts that retelling all together. So it was very interesting. I liked how he took it and where he took it to. I'm not a big fan of the Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, as you've heard before, but I've enjoyed this. This was really great. Then we got The Court of Silver Flames. I finished that one. Oh, the other book I gave 4 stars, by the way. Uh, this one I gave 4 stars. I loved the series. This one is dealing with Nesta, Freya's sister, and it's really interesting seeing what they're going to, the you looking at this character and another character in their cast, who it's been really interesting seeing how these characters develop. There are supposed to be, I believe, 2 more books in the series. I don't know if Sarah Moss is going to get back to it, but supposedly, according to Goodreads, there are 2 more books that are supposed to be in this series. I'd love to see them because this was really good, and you kind of wondering what's going on with the other sister and maybe someone else. But this would be in the in Roseanne's group, maybe. I'm not sure, so it'll be interesting seeing what they do, how she's going to do this, if she even comes back to it. I'm not sure, especially with her doing the House of Blood and, well, actually Crescent City. Excuse me, Crescent City. And it's going to be interesting to see what she does with those, if she comes back to this. Next, we have Dragonborn, which was another middle grade by Toby Ford, excuse me. This one was a 3-star for me. I saw it, and my brain goes, "Oh, it's a dragon. I want to see." I'm kind of curious, and I use that as my fire element on my tic-tac-toe board. And I thought, I love reading about dragons. I love everybody's point of view, and I decided to give this middle grade a chance, and not so much, not so great. It was okay. It was just something that when I started reading reviews, I'm going, I can understand why people are reviewing it this way. And so, yeah, that was one of the ones that I was a little sad about, but hey, it happens. Next, we have The Ways to Hide in Winter by Sarah St. Vincent. I decided, because on my tic-tac-toe board there was a spot for suspense, and I normally haven't read a suspense, so I thought, okay, I'm in the library, I found a suspense book, I thought, oh, let me try this one out. This sounded kind of interesting. I was kind of curious about it. I gave it 3 stars. I will give you a trigger warning. If you have a problem with domestic violence, I would not pick this up. But it was okay. I wasn't really that thrilled with it as much as I don't, like I said, I have no knowledge of suspense. So for me, it was like just reading it, not feeling what I guess I should have felt for suspense. I was on my edge of my seat. I really wasn't. I was kind of just going, okay, and it was all I felt about it. So it's based in Pennsylvania, Blue Ridge Mountains, which is a beautiful place, but like I said, it was just one of those things. I'm sitting there just going, and kind of already felt I have a feeling I know what the wrongness was with this is, and then I was pretty much banging on, and I was kind of like, okay. So that one wasn't so thrilling, but hey, it happens. And last but not least, I read Hyde by Kristen White. Oh my gosh, I am in the camp of I loved it. I absolutely enjoyed this book. I never saw Squid Games, so I don't know how, because I kept hearing, "Oh, if you like Squid Games, you'll love this," and it's like, okay, I never saw Squid Games, but I did enjoy it. I was like, kept seeing it and kept going hearing about it, and finally it came up in my library, and I was like, yes. I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. It was good. It wasn't quite 5 stars for me, but it was up there that I would be reading more of it. So I was really enjoying it. Like I said, I'm in the camp that loved it. I know that this is kind of teetered from, oh, well, if you like this, and most people went, nah, I loved it. I would probably buy this book, to be honest. So yeah, this would be me. So I'm going to go and you're going to see past me showing you my TBR for tic-tac-toe. As you can see, for the month of August, I actually got 2 tic-tac-toes. So I will be doing a reward first, and we will generate 1 through 11, and the first one is 11. So, okay, and the next one is 1. Go free. I got a freebie. Okay. So it is double up, 1 book for 2 prompts, and the freebie was my rewards. So let's go ahead and go over to here, and let's see here. I believe it's 100. And so I will redo this board and see what we come up with. So first box, 78. Takes place at sea. Okay. Next one is 31. Red cover. Next one is 94. Friends pick. Next one is 49. A city I've never been to. Okay. 28. Over 500 pages. I've got a book for that. If you've seen my Bookopoly-thon, yeah, I've got it. 46. All right. New author to me. Okay. 19. Made me cry. Okay. 7. And new TBR. New to TBR. 1 month. Okay. And last but not least is 45. And we will try to get off of this. Even number of pages. So, there we go. There is my new tic-tac-toe board for the month of September. I get a freebie and I get double up prompts. Should be able to do it, especially the middle one, because I already have a book for that. Going back to present April. Alright, so as you see, I am going to be doing a few things. Like I said, if you haven't seen my Bookopoly that I did for September, because Becca from the books is doing the Monopoly, the Bookopoly-thon, and I will link that up there where you see the books. This one happened to be one of the books I ended up picking. It is over 500 pages, so this was why I was laughing, going, oh yeah, this one's definitely caught. So we got that. New to me author, I have this one. Even number of pages, this one or this one will work. Let's see here, what else? Depending on the setting of the city, for my buzzword, I'm going to use Alice Finney's Daisy Darker. That should be interesting because that is, you know, dealing with dark and light, so darker. And I already have a book for the red cover. Da, 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 da. So I'm knocking out a few. I'm not sure. Now also these 3 could be the TBRs because these were from book, so I can also double up. So one of these can be, you know, a new to TBR, which is any of these. So I mean, I have good months, and it looks like I might be getting enough for next month. We'll see. If you have any suggestions for any of the prompts that I got, let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear what you all think. And maybe give me a friends pick. Something I haven't, you know, I didn't know any. I kept going, since I just started background reading, it's like, okay, I've been seeing a lot of booktubers, and getting ideas from them, because that's how I found out about certain things like Sarah J. Maas and Hyde and things like that. Because I was like, okay, I'm learning and I'm going, ooh, I'm liking this, I'm liking this. So anything that's, you think I should be interested in, please put it down below. I'm curious. Um, Hopefully next month I'll have a bunch of horrors. We'll see. And until next time, I'm hoping everybody is having a wonderful day.